Hey, what up and welcome back. This is going to be a full round vlog on their tradition course out at Cypresswood. Rushed out there for a twilight round with my dad one evening playing the white tees about 6,200 yards. No warm up. Let's see what we can do. So this first hole plays about 350 from these tees, and normally I can just step up and smooth one down the right side, not even give this bunker a second thought, but I barely clear it and have a weak kind of push going on. So I left a really gnarly lie for myself. The rough's long, the ball's like above my feet, and I tried to do too much. I should have just chunked a wedge out. Now I left myself the shot over the bunker here, off hard pan, and I'm way in my head, worried too much about my score, worried too much about what these guys are thinking about me recording, even though I suck at golf. And I just have, like I said, no confidence here. And after two in the bunker, I just pick it up and take an eight for a double par, which is I recommend most people make their limit. It's more than a handicap will let you record, and unless you're playing in some kind of competitive match, there's no point in writing down like a 13 or 15 or something. And I needed to take a minute to like recompose and just forget about this hole, honestly, back at the cart. So the second hole, again, same thing. I can usually step up there, just pop one over the bunkers down the right, never even give it a second thought. But this one, I left it right in the bunker up against the face, and not really in my process. Don't think it through, and then try to do too much and carry it to the bunker when I'm again right up against that lip. So I just chunk this one out and try to do what I can to refocus and get in the process and do a little bit better here. That's still kind of a weak, slicey looking swing, but reminding myself I didn't warm up and going through my process here, that helps. Getting a little more positive. Remember, I'm here enjoying this time with my dad, grateful to be playing golf ultimately, and, give this one a much better shot and get up there. I feel like I can make this putt, but then you three putt, you're seven over after two holes, and, you know, again questioning life, but really that let me forget about the score, and I put a really good swing on this 8 iron, little cut, the exact shot I wanted to, and it just rolls a little long off the back here, but great look at it. If you don't have this shot, this is just a pitch and wedge bump and run. I recommend just working on this shot around the green because I don't even hit this well, and it rolls up there, snuggles up to a tap in, which I tap it in with my wedge for a par to just remind myself to not be taking it so serious and move on. So a little confidence after the par there, feeling like I may know how to play golf a little bit again. Got a free flowing swing on this one and got the draw to turn over in the middle of the fairway with a little 9 iron left in. Probably tugged that just a hair, but that's the miss. This is the number one handicap in balls find their way to that water if you're anywhere near it. So really happy with that shot in. And pin high to the left over here, this is a big green and there's a lot of break to it. So just trying to again snuggle this one up close. Step in there, pick my line and whack it. Don't think too much about it. Left it a little longer, right outside that really comfortable range for me yet in this round, but it's a good uphill, pretty straight putt. I can just kind of visualize knocking it right in the back of the cup and moving along. Take a par here every day and going into a par five next. Starting to feel a little loose, a little better with the swing. Went after this one a little bit and thought it was better than it ended up being. It's still that kind of weak, slicey push, but put a better swing on this one. This is a little hybrid, trying to lay up to 100 yards, which I was right on that number down here. So left a 56-degree in for me, which again I tugged just a hair. Don't quite catch it clean, but the confidence is really starting to build here because my distances are really dialed in. I'm just left or right now. Feeling good with the putter in my hand. Give that one a good stroke and leave it with a little tap in putt for the third par in a row with confidence building, moving on to a drivable par four. So the six hole's playing just over 300. I try to put a little draw on it. It turns over a little bit, but not quite enough. I imagine I had a chance to roll up there, but it rolled down in this greenside bunker, and I'm having flashbacks of the first two holes. Not a great shot, but I get it out at least. And this is a, pretty legitimate look at a birdie. Fairly uphill putt. I don't end up putting the best stroke on it, but I get it in that very comfortable tap in for a par, and that's four in a row, moving on to a par five. So at this point, I'm feeling kind of warmed up and put a better swing on that one, giving me a shot to go at it in two. I have about 240 left into the green, choke down on my 3 wood and trying to sling a little draw, but hit that weak push out there to the right. And it's all right. It's pin high, lane two, and put a good swing on this one, but it gets fringe boosted across the green. Not a terrible shot or result. This is the pitch and wedge bump and run, and I hit much better contact, leaving me just that little tap in range. Now, if I can get it within 2 to 3 feet, now I'm feeling like I can just tap it in, move along to the next one. This is the shortest hole on the course. If they ever put the tees over here on the right, it's like 110, just a little 56 degree and decent shot right into the middle of the green. uh, like I said, feeling confident with the putter. I don't expect any of these longer ones to go in, but I do expect to get it in that 2 to 3 foot range where I just tap it in, take the par, and move on to the next one. So that's 6 pars in a row and some good momentum building. I'm not aware of the score, but I just know I'm swinging better and playing better going into this ninth hole. My playing partner, right when I hit this one, asked, "Hey, is that in the creek?" And I was like, "Nah, no way," because I haven't done that in a long time. But that was a smooth little draw, and I hit it right around 300 and almost hit it into the creek down here. Just a little flip wedge left in, which I don't catch clean, little chunky, so it has no spin and rolls out just a little bit. But again, not mad at having a birdie putt because I'm very confident I can just pick my line, whack this one, and if it doesn't go in, I will have a tap in par to finish out this nine and move along. So again, I'm not aware of it, but that's 7 pars in a row. I just know I've been swinging better and the results have been better, even though I'm not adding them up in my head. I go after this one a little harder and put a big weak slice on it. It goes all the way across the fairway, but just in the rough on the right, and have a good look in here. This is a 9 iron, and I hit the exact shot I was trying to. A little cut to try to access this pin, and great distance, just pin high to the right in that same zone where I said I'm lost in the process. I read my putt. I know I can step in here, whack it, and if it doesn't go in, I just got to tap in the next one and keep chugging along. So that's 8 pars in a row. Now going into a difficult par three. It's always a little bit longer, and just put a terrible swing on this one. Honestly, it's like 40 yards offline to the right, and it really runs on the ground over there. There's a bunker between me and the pin here, and I'm taking a little bit of a conservative line, not going right at the pin, and still got to put a big swing on this one, loft it way up there and let it land soft, which I'm really happy with that shot and that result. And this is a pretty realistic look. I mean, I'm not going to make this one very often, but it's still in that same range, definitely, where if this one doesn't go in, the next one is certainly, and it's becoming a fact at this point. I don't even have to worry about it. But that was a bogey, but I'm not worried about that at all. And no, there's a lot of golf left to play on this back nine. I hit that little weak push over there again, but it's in the fairway and I can advance it. This is a 7 iron. I'm trying to hit to a number, but kind of chunk it, pull it a little bit, and stays in. It's in the rough over here. I think I have 110 in. Pretty happy with this shot, right where I wanted. I'm not trying to go anywhere near the pin when you're on the green. You'll see why, because anywhere right and long is dead where the pin is over there. So this is the big part of the green. Hit it right in the middle. Again, pin high. And this is a longer, pretty tough putt, but again, I'm confident in it. I know I can snuggle it down there, you know, probably tap this par in. It's right in that 3 foot range and move along. I can just visualize these hitting the back of the cup for the most part and, not have to stress too much. So hopefully we're back on the par train here going into the 13th hole. Step up there, put a pretty good swing on this one. I haven't been worried about distance lately. I've just been trying to choke down on it and be a little more controlled. And, it's been paying off, I think. Uh, you know, you hear me complaining about this one a little bit. It was a pretty good swing, a pretty good shot. Just overdid it a little bit. I was trying to hit a cut to this back pin. It just skipped off the back. But that is just a standard 56 right in the middle of my stance and just kind of just a little easy swing, nothing to it. Again, I'm not stressing. I'm not even worried about the score and step up and make another par. That's two in a row again, back on the train, going into a par three. And I really love this like closing sequence of holes from here on in, honestly. This is a nice high 7-iron cut, right around 170 yards to the pin, and pretty much pin high to the right, just maybe 10 yards if that. Really give that one a good stroke. It has a chance of going in, lips out, and another par moving along to Double Gulch. This is a really cool hole. Didn't get it to turn over like I wanted. Not quite as weak of a push as it was before. It's down here in the right edge of the fairway, right around 100, a little less. And don't catch that very clean, but it's on the front edge of the green. And again, I'm not worried about the score. I'm just lost in playing golf and lost in the process. So that really frees me up. I put a good stroke on this one, and it almost goes in, leaving me another tap in par to get three in a row going into number 16 is where I usually mess up. I find a way to hit one out of bounds down the right oftentimes, and I almost do here, but it barely stays in, just in the edge over here on a hard pan and blocked out by trees. And honestly, I probably try to do too much here. I take a 5-iron, choke way down. I'm trying to hit a low cut, and I end up hitting it pretty good. It's low. It's got the distance to get up there. I've only got 140 yards in here, and it hits this knob on the front left of the green and bounces just over the front edge. I thought it went out, but it stays on the edge of the green over here, and I've got this really good look. I'm thinking this is automatic par save. Boom. It's been every time. Keep it rolling, move along, and I just put a terrible stroke on it. Probably not focused, overthinking it, but don't really care about a bogey at this point. Moving along to the 17th hole, which I love the look from these alternate tees on the right over here. It just fits my eye really good. I wasn't like trying to force one up there. I just put a good swing on it, and it sneaks up on the front edge of the green. And at this point, the confidence has been building, the momentum's been building. So I have no intentions of making this putt. I just know I can just smack this one up close and probably have a tap and birdie in this case since I drove the green. But got it dialed in from the last few holes and finally get it to drop for an eagle. Always fun to celebrate and have a group with you to share that experience with, and with my dad. But that really helps with momentum going into this last hole, which is a par five. Honestly, I put a terrible swing on that, but it ends up being like a little stinger that runs out down here plenty far to give me a shot to go at it in that 240 range. And I just kind of, at this point, I'm like, hey, let's just see if we can sneak one up there again. And it does manage to roll up on the front edge of the green, giving me my second attempt at an eagle in 2 holes here. And I have no delusions I'm going to make this putt. It's a long one all the way from the front of the green, but I am fairly confident I can step up there, whack it into that 2 to 3 foot range, and have a very easy stress-free birdie to finish out this round. So with that tapping, I go 3 under on the last 2 holes, finish that 9 1 under, and shoot a 78 overall, which I'm very proud of. Not my best score by any means, but very happy with the way I battled back and still broke 80 after starting so poorly. If you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. I have a new intro at the beginning of the video that features some unseen footage. I have over 2.5 terabytes of unseen footage. This clip here is from taking Bryce out to Corsicana, where he worked and lived on a golf course and got into greenskeeping, where he's still doing today. He works here at Walden on Lake Houston now. This is me getting ready, warming up, and playing in the invited Celebrity Classic qualifier out at Deerwood. I believe I more or less got every shot. I'd be happy to take y'all along for that journey, even though it wasn't my best. This was an amazing tournament at Waterwood National in Huntsville, Livingston area, out on Lake Livingston. It's an amazing course with a ton of history. Used to host PGA Tour qualifying events and was one of the hardest courses around back in its heyday. Used to have big shots helicoptering into play and everything. So an amazing story here, great community keeping it alive, and they have their tournament for 2025 coming up soon. In 2023, I competed against John Daly at Insperity, doing a long drive challenge. I never really shared that, so let me know which of these events you're most interested in seeing coming up. I'm probably gonna eventually do a video, at least touching on all of them. They were also such fun times, and I was so lucky to be able to do some of these things. So I'd like to share with y'all. And this last one here is from the beginning is from the 2024 Malbon United H-Town Showdown, and then the end's a little clip from this year's United H-Town Showdown. I throw those together into 2 videos, but always a great time doing anything with Nabon and or We United and that group of people. And of course, got to play with Mark, my boy from Oakberry. Always a great time to link up with him on the course. So let me know down in the comments which one of these videos you'd like to see most and what you think of this longer form video. I really appreciate you checking it out. Thanks, guys. See you soon.